Let's turn our attention to earlier in the day. Leading into this showdown, we are going to get Oklahoma playing Alabama. You will remember it was Brent Venables and these Oklahoma Sooners that did hand the Crimson Tide a loss that ended up being extremely impactful, keeping Kalen DeBoer from making the college football playoff during his first season. Now, this is not exactly the same. Alabama was a double-digit favorite there on the road against an Oklahoma team that was really spinning its wheels. This Oklahoma team finds itself very much in striking distance of the college football playoff. Crimson Tide favored by about a touchdown at home. Bud, do we have enough of a data set, or what can we glean that would say that Brent Venables has a good idea for slowing down Alabama's offense under Kalen DeBoer? Does the Ryan Grubb return change the wrinkles? Quarterback change as well? Congratulations, you slowed Jalen Milroe. That's not the same as Ty Simpson, but I would still say that there's some inconsistencies with the Alabama offense recently that at least has piqued my interest here.
Yeah, I still think Alabama's offense is really damn good, but they don't seem to have a real difference maker at running back, so they don't pop. Like when runs pop for them, they don't seem to finish them and create explosives. We talked about this on the Saturday night show. The long run for Alabama from a back was 7 yards against LSU. That's not really great. If you look at this, I think Bama's getting better in some areas in the pass game. Ryan Williams emerging is pretty big. But I don't know if we have a real sample set here of Venables against DeBoer with or without Grubb. We really just have last year, which was kind of a not broken, but very inconsistent offense with Jalen Milroe, and they went up there. And obviously Oklahoma beat them in an ugly defensive scoring game. But has he faced them other than that?
At the time, though, Milroe was running hot off blowing the doors off LSU. They had run it up on Missouri. At the time that we had that game, we had not seen we had thought that the Alabama offense was fixed. We thought that the Alabama offense was clicking, and it was just very clear early in that game that the Crimson Tide, again, there's been a lot of criticism about, was Jalen Milroe seeing it? Why was the offense just out of sync in general? A lot of open players, missed passes, missed connections, but some of that credit also has to go to the way that the defense is set up and the way that it's called.
I don't disagree with that. Oklahoma, Venables is a great DC, and they're in the conversation, I think, for the second best defense in the country, assuming everybody just has Ohio State 1, which I do. But we can argue about the gapping there. Maybe there's a real gap between Ohio State and everybody else. It's kind of up to your own opinion. I do think Venables has a chance to really slow this thing down. Maybe the one worry is who has Oklahoma faced who can really chuck it around?
Well, Ole Miss in Tennessee, and they allowed 34 points to Ole Miss and 27 to Tennessee.
I was about to say, it's the last 2 games, and the quarterbacks put up 300 plus in both of those games.
Yeah, that's right. Because remember, they faced Auburn with the guy who's the now backup, and they faced obviously Bryce Underwood with those Michigan receivers, and also Michigan's top tight end was out in that game. So I do think Oklahoma's defense is really good. I think their front will give Bama some problems. You have seen 2 teams chuck it on them okay. And it's in Tuscaloosa. To me, Oklahoma has a very narrow path to win this game. It's you need Ty Simpson to play poorly. You need to rattle him. You need to hit him. You need to bust Bama's blitz protections. And you probably need to you need to manufacture some turnovers, which I know it's a huge luck component. Venables does seem to be pretty good at creating situations from which turnovers emanate. Doesn't always happen, but he's pretty good at some of the bait stuff. McElroy does a great job talking about this. I think he talked to Tua about what Venables did to them in that national title game when he was at Clemson, the one played in Santa Clara. And he's we went back through all the clips. They did not run this coverage from this look all year. They literally sat on it and broke it out for that game. And they got 2 picks off it early. And Trevor Lawrence diced that defense up pretty good. So, I think Oklahoma's path to win is very narrow, low scoring game. I would be shocked if OU finds a way to win a game where they have to score 30 here. Mine is just some crazy turnover special team stuff. And that's because Alabama does have touchdown scorers at the receiver position. And so far, Oklahoma does not really.
Must be nice to be in a conference where you can just save all that stuff for the playoff.
It's 2018 Clemson.
Yeah, we really hold. Oh God,
I'm just saying, like they were so confident in their ability to win the ACC in 2018 that they were like, we won't run any of this. We're going to save it for a game that matters. Going back to this game, we discussed Oklahoma's struggles against passing offenses, and I think like Alabama's not going to run the ball here. Like, you touched on it; they haven't run the ball well all year. They're not a very good run blocking offensive line. I don't see them suddenly figuring out against Oklahoma because Oklahoma's front is very good. So can Ty Simpson continue to do what he's done all year with this offense? Put it on his back, find his guys open down the field in space, which I think Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer, wherever they've been, they've done a very good job of figuring out ways to get their guys open over the middle of the field, down the field. And Ty Simpson, to this point, has been probably the best downfield passing quarterback in the country. So can Oklahoma take that away? Can Brent Venables figure out a way to take it away and get him to stop and maybe force him to make some bad throws to get him to some turnovers? But I think far more important is I don't think Oklahoma is going to keep Alabama from getting at least 24 points in this game. So can Oklahoma score enough to win? Because, like I talked about it with Texas, Oklahoma is only scoring 2.26 points per drive on the season, but that's 1.73 in the SEC. It's very bad. And John Mateer has stunk in the SEC. His numbers against conference opponents, he has an efficiency of 115.2. His completion rate 61.3, 6.3 yards per attempt, 5 total touchdowns with his arm and his legs, 4 interceptions. Like, he has been bad since they've gotten out of non-conference play. Alabama's defense this year has been good against the pass in every game except for Florida State. If you want to beat them, you have to be able to run the ball. Can Oklahoma run the ball? We've seen them kind of figure it out since that Texas loss, but can they run it effectively enough to not only get points and keep Alabama off the field, but just can they get big chunks?
We have seen mobile QBs give this defense problems repeatedly. Now, they've done a little bit better at times against this season, but like I don't know. Are we convinced that is like completely fixed?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like is the sample set great enough that we think it is? Maybe. I mean, Oklahoma's running in there with 2 freshman tackles, and Bryant Denny, I think, is a much better home field advantage than it used to be. Like with the remodel, that place is loud. Like they do a great job with like the stadium production and all that. You've seen the videos coming from the truck, which are pretty cool. But like that's a pretty first class experience in terms of noise. So they'll be jacked for this. Is this a night game?
Yep. No,
this
afternoon, 3:30.
Oh, 3:30. Okay, that's still like
Georgia, Texas is the night game. Yeah.
Right. That'll still be like a pretty nice atmosphere to go into. But you know what? So was Neyland on Halloween night. So, like, they've handled it. They needed some breaks. They created some of their own breaks against Tennessee. You just need another home run defensive effort. You need Mateer to, like, finally start seeing open guys. You need the freshman tackles to hold up. And you need some turnovers.
You need this game to be 26-22 with the ball and a shot to, like, go out there and be like, okay, like we all we want is one crack at it, just to see if Mateer in fourth quarter sort of scramble mode, can he go and put you in a position like that? You need this game to be decided in the 20s.
And I don't know that I think Ty Simpson's like absolutely a lock not to make mistakes, but I bet Oklahoma would upset Tennessee. They will not be on sprinkles this week for me. I'm not saying I'm betting Bama, but like I trust Ty Simpson a hell of a lot more than I trust Joey Aguilar.
I'm just trying to imagine the game where the score is 26-22.
Why?
That's an odd score.
I know.
That is an odd score.
Where'd you get those numbers from? Why'd you go 26-22 instead of like 24-21?
Oh, I do not think this is. I mean, safety's on the board. Are you kidding me? A lot of field goals are on the board. I mean, this just seems like one of those games where the ball might be moving more than the scores going up on the board.
If this game is 26-22 at any point, I will give you $100.
Clip it.
I like that.
I think it's here's why, Tom. Oklahoma points scored against Ole Miss, 26 points. Oklahoma points scored against South Carolina, 26 points. What was the final score of Alabama against, let me get this right here, Alabama against South Carolina? Final score was 29-22. Ooh. Final score against LSU, 20-9. I mean, boys, I've just seen some funky numbers on the board for these two teams.
I can see it. All right, two more things here. How much does Alabama even try to run?
Golly.
Just to keep them honest.
Significant here. Speaking of Alabama's offense, R. Mason Thomas. You talk about the win against Tennessee. They're just calling it lower body injury. What are we going to guess? Hammy. You were running back a fumble for a touchdown. He's one of the best pass rushers in the entire country. Officially listed as questionable. You are benefiting from the fact that he had a whole week to get this as right as possible. I don't think we're going to have an answer until warm-ups. So for all of our purposes here, for all of our purposes on locks on Thursday, you just kind of got to make a call. Does R. Mason Thomas swing you one way or the other? It could be very significant. Kobe McKenzie, also at the linebacker position, is also listed as questionable. Another important piece of that Oklahoma defense.
It's super important because while Oklahoma has great blitz packages and Venables is an awesome blitzer, if they can get home with 4, I like their chances of covering Ryan Williams and last name starts with a B. Why am I blanking on this?
Bernard?
Yes, excuse me. I like their chances of covering Williams and Bernard much more, obviously, if they can put more players back there. Like, it's just math, right? So, and I think Oklahoma might have a chance to get home with 4.
Yep.
So, I mean, this is the best front that Alabama's seen so far.
And Oklahoma does like their defensive end depth. Like the young, he didn't play. R. Mason Thomas got injured early in that game. He didn't play for like 3 quarters. They still were able to close out a win against Tennessee on the road. So they got young guys that are ready to go for sure.
To your earlier question, Alabama runs the ball 32 times per game, which ranks 109th nationally. But keep in mind, they're usually winning. And most of the time, teams run the ball when they're ahead. Alabama's not trying to run the ball even when they're ahead. That tells you everything they think about their rushing offense.
There have been some games where they've been stubborn with it to various effect. Like Missouri, they were having a hard time pass blocking that day. And they really were like, all right, we don't know how much Missouri's going to score on us here. We're just going to keep pounding this thing. And they didn't pop a whole lot of explosives. They hit the 1. But, yeah, I'm curious to see how much they run it.
Alabama's offense has not scored. Alabama has not scored more than 30 offensive points in SEC play. The 37-20 win against Tennessee, as we have reminded you often, the fumble goes the other way for a touchdown. That gets you to 37, but 30 there against Tennessee. Then we saw the output has been a little bit lessened in recent weeks.
All right, deal or no deal, you are Kalen DeBoer. 21.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, the total's at 46.5. If you're taking 21.
Give it to me.
I think if you gave me 23, 21, I'd be a little nervous just because the short fields that might come from turnovers. But like, I would take 23 if I was Bama.
Can I flip this on its head? At what number do you think Alabama's offense cannot reach? Turnovers. Oh, look, John Mateer pick 6 or a fumble, short field. Like there's ways that you could be like, well, that's part of the equation too. But just if it's a clean game, what number can Oklahoma hold Alabama to?
Oh, okay. So
20.
Yeah, I was thinking 20, low 20s.
All right, flip it. Deal or no deal. You get to pick the Bama number, and you are Brent Venables. 20.
19.
0.
Are
0.
you taking, like, do you think your team can score 21 there in Tuscaloosa?
No, give me 0.
Right. But if you said, hey, Brent, 17.
Yeah. You can get to 20.
I think if you told Brent, like, hey, we're going to hold Bama to the teens, he'd be like, all right, do I have great faith in my offense? No, but like I would consider holding Bama to the teens in Tuscaloosa kind of a home run effort for sure from the defense, and then you hope your offense can go out there and do something.
How good is Oklahoma's kicker?
He's so good. Remember we asked about this on air, and then McQuiston hit us up. He's like, no, this kid's amazing. He's hit like 1,050,000 yarders.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to hold Alabama to 14, that I can kick 5 field goals and win this game.
I think Oklahoma
18-17 final.
Hell yeah,
6 field goals.
I think Oklahoma
6 bombs.
I think Oklahoma can kick their way to 20.
Oh my god.
But I mean, it looks like an 18-16 ass game. I thought 26-22. It's just I don't think this is going to be crispy. I don't think our red zone opportunities are all going to be cashed in. I think the ball moves more than the scores change.
I just had a vision of Mack Rhodes on the final selection Sunday as Oklahoma at 9-3 gets the final at-large, and Mack Rhodes is like, yeah, we were just talking about Tate Sandell and what a difference maker he is as a kicker, and we think it gives the Sooners the edge over a lot of these other teams we were comparing them to.
No, that would be too on the nose. Not like when he said the ACC's only good non-conference win was Miami against Notre Dame, as though Alabama doesn't have a loss to the Atlantic Coast Conference as well. I mean, I joke about week 1 being an island and we shouldn't overreact to week 1 results, but to actually memory hole and like completely mentally erase week 1 results. Oh, excuse me, some week 1 results.
Yeah, I was going to say, Miami's win was a week 1 result.
I'm not trying to be a jerk here, but like, how are we more prepared to comment on the TV show than the actual TV show is to do the TV show?
Listen, Mac has a lot of talking points he needs to memorize in a very short amount of time.
And it's tough if, reportedly you're undergoing a school investigation for sideline behavior. It's tough. It's tough to do time management. Luckily, he is the committee chair, and he is able to do that. All right.